When you are arrested, your rights are read to you. These rights are called the Miranda rights. The Miranda rights were implemented June 13, 1966, 3 years after Ernesto Miranda was arrested and sent to trial.
Court case number 759, Miranda v. Arizona, in session. Ernesto Miranda, you were arrested at home and taken to the Phoenix Police Station on March 13, 1963. Is this correct? Yes, sir. You signed a written confession, correct? Yes. You were questioned by two police officers, but yet they did not read you your rights. Is this correct? Yes. I present to the court a written confession saying Mr. Miranda was aware of his legal rights. Yet the two officers have already admitted to questioning him without informing him of his rights. I hereby declare the confession unusable in court. Recess has been called.
It is clear from this dramatic reenactment that Miranda was not read his rights. He did not know he had the right to an attorney. Yet, the court case went on.
Ernesto Miranda, you are found guilty of kidnapping and rape. We hereby sentence you to 30 years of prison.
Miranda appealed the case, and it reached the Supreme Court. His appeal was rejected, and he was sentenced. In the early 1930s, police brutality was commonly used to gain confessions. They whipped, beat, hung, and used brute force to get what they needed out of an accused or arrested person. Not much thought was put into whether or not the accused would lie to avoid pain or out of fear of their aggressors. Today, those in custody are still brought to a police station for questioning. This practice has its roots in psychology rather than physical violence. To give officers the upper hand, they use an interrogation room. Here, they can use tactics such as the infamous good cop, bad cop switch to get a confession or statement out of an accused subject. In the interrogation room, police manuals instruct officers to act as if the person being questioned is guilty rather than suspend disbelief or play to both sides. As often portrayed in the media, officers of the law will often use trickery or other scare tactics to get what they want. Their job is to get an admission of what occurred, and that is what they, to the best of their abilities, will do. Ernesto Miranda fell prey to some of these tactics. He was arrested and interrogated by cops, who later admitted they did not inform him of his rights at that time. Within 2 hours, the cops had a written confession signed by Miranda. Atop it was a paragraph stating Miranda understood his rights and was aware anything he said could be used against him in a court of law. Clearly, he did not. This confession was admitted as evidence. Both police officers stood and testified that they had not informed Miranda of his rights. Despite this, he was sentenced to 20 to 30 years in prison. Miranda appealed this decision, taking the case up to the Supreme Court, where it was promptly shot down. The court decided that, because Miranda did not specifically ask for an attorney, his rights had not been violated. 3 years after Miranda's prison sentence, a decision was made in his name. It declared that everyone had to be told of their rights, and if they were not, what they said could not be used against them in a court of law. For the protection of the Fifth and Sixth Amendment and all that it encompasses within the U.S. Constitution, the Miranda rights were enacted. Under the Miranda rights, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. 2 amendments were made to the Miranda Acts. Under these amendments, new laws were added to protect a citizen of the United States. such as, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district where the crime was committed. It is clear that the Miranda rights were a large improvement in our law enforcement. Outside of the Miranda decision is the Miranda warning. The Miranda warning forces all officers of the law to inform anyone of their rights before they say anything incriminating. Anything said before the Miranda warning is read cannot be used in a court of law. The impact of the Miranda rights was so huge, in fact, that most United States civilians know their Miranda rights by a young age. The Fifth Amendment is one of the most well-known amendments, as arrested citizens often plead the Fifth and refuse to speak until their attorney is present. This was a historic court case, because ever since the Miranda decision and the implementation of the Miranda warning, all United States citizens are now aware that not only can their statements be used against them in court, but they are generally more informed of the rights they have as a United States citizen.
Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I dig snow and rain and the bright sunshine. Dragging the line. My dog Sam eats purple flowers. Ain't got much but